After many years of cooperation for development, the donors community came together and they decided to find a more efficient way to work for development. Basically, to have an harmonization of the action of the donor community to be aligned to the development plan of the partner countries where the donor community work in. And this is what it is laid down in the Paris Declaration.
Now we are experiencing a very good coordination between donors, especially with GIZ, the German government, the BTC, the EU, the SDC, the Swiss Development Cooperation, the ETF as well. All these donors, organizations or countries are working together, and we are experiencing, of course, a very good result to this cooperation, and we are very happy about it.
I think that the donor harmonization is a very important element to support the sector in order to make some sort of cohesion and coherence among those interventions to really reflect the priorities and needs.
So one of the critical success factors for donor cooperation is that donors work together to support the strategic aims of the country. And what ETF has tried to do in Palestine in 2010-2011 is to support the country in developing an evidence-based vet strategy through a tool which we use in most of our partner countries called the Torino process. This has been done together with GIZ, BTC, Swiss Development in an open process where the donors also feel the ownership and the responsibility for helping the country apply and implement this strategy.
One of the successful donor cooperations we are developing this year, together with the German Development Bank and the German Development Agency, we are going to develop work-based learning programs all over Palestine, and this concerns a hard element, meaning school reconstruction and buying machines and necessary equipment for the schools and for the companies. This will be financed by the German Development Bank, and then the training part and the coaching part in company and in schools will be done by GIZ and BTC. So we have a nice combination of different donors together in one program.
We have recently established, together with the two key ministries, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Labour, and our colleagues and partners of the Belgium Technical Cooperation, a joint operational management team, where we decide jointly on core activities to be undertaken and on strategies how to put them into practice. And having this joint committee helps us to achieve shared objectives faster, with less resources and with higher impact.
We have in education what is called the Education Sector Working Group, and we have for TVET what is called a sub-thematic group, and this sub-thematic group is chaired between the Ministry of Labour and the Ministry of Education and Higher Education, in addition to the key players in the TVET sector, as I mentioned, the ETF, the BTC, the GIZ, and other donors who support technical and vocational education and training.
The donors should also be working together on the priorities of the country, working together with the same terminology, trying to use the same methodologies and approaches in the country.
The Palestinian people get what they get faster, with better quality and at lower cost. And also the taxpayers benefit because their money is used in a more efficient and more effective way.
And we have better qualitative programs because we learn more from each other as donors and agencies. So there is only an advantage.
By gathering the donors together, maybe they can support the program with a bigger amount of budget that can help the program to be implemented with all its needed aspects, to be covered in a high standard and to benefit the student better.
في البداية كل الشكر للمانحين من الدول الصديقة، وإحنا نأمل أن يستمروا في التعاون فيما بينهم في تقديم وبناء المشاريع وتشجيع التدريب المهني في فلسطين، وذلك من أجل توفير فرص عمل لشاباتنا وشبابنا من أجل تخفيض البطالة. أشكرهم مرة أخرى.
We believe in cooperation and collaboration among all people because we're sure that we will have better benefit if we are working together.